So everyone knows Trisha Paytas is cancelled at the moment. She's having mental breakdowns left, right and centre and claiming she's a part of the spiritual/law of attraction community, but they do not claim her apparently.
Bank account, how I cured my mental illness.
Trisha, as someone from the spiritual community, you literally cannot affirm your mental illness away. That's called psychosis, babe. I know you're really trying to latch on to the spiritual community because you feel like you've gone through all the other communities that you possibly can go through, but I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't want you. You're not willing to do the work. You and your fake spiritual fiance, please. I'm all about you getting help and all about you going on a spiritual awakening. But don't fake it for the internet because it's really sad and it's getting to a point where it's like really pathetic. And I'm genuinely embarrassed.
But guys, we need to have a serious discussion about Ethan Klein. Everyone wants to talk about Trisha being problematic, but what about Ethan? He still has not addressed the Moses situation. Moses is his brother-in-law and the fiancé of Trisha Paytas. Well, he was recently accused of by his ex-girlfriend Daphne, who had had enough and exposed him on her Instagram story. Trisha Paytas instantly defended Moses, even though she claims to always believe the victim first. And even Moses' own sister Healer Klein and his brother-in-law Ethan Klein chose to believe the victim first. However, they've never publicly said anything on the matter. Only their text messages with Trisha were leaked online. And they still have not addressed the Moses situation at all. And of course, no one is blaming Ethan and Healer for what Healer's brother Moses did, allegedly. However, something people are bringing up now is that Ethan has kept the first episode of Frenemies up, where Trisha allegedly victim blamed Daphne. Currently, a popular thread on Reddit is getting lots of attention at the moment, where a user called out H3 podcast and brought up valid reasons as to why they should address the Moses situation. Now, before I dive into this thread, I want to mention that there's clear evidence online from leaked messages between Moses and his exes that he hates Ethan Klein, and he's not that fond of his sister Healer either. He is very jealous of their fame and fortune, and he's noted in the past that he's pissed they never really bothered to help him by promoting his YouTube channel. Obviously, people aren't surprised that Ethan and Healer chose to not really promote Moses on their channel because of the horrible person he is after getting exposed. But yeah, it's just something important to note. So maybe Ethan is waiting until after Healer gives birth to their baby, until he will address the situation, because Healer's pregnancy is risky apparently, so he probably doesn't want to add any more stress to her because it wouldn't be healthy for the baby. So anyway, going back to this Reddit post that's getting lots of attention, it states, H3 needs to address the Moses situation. Moses, 43, used the H3 platform in his relationship to H3 to sleep with a 20-year-old woman in the community. Then, after it ended poorly, Trisha publicly body shamed and mocked this girl to 4 million plus viewers on the H3 channel. This is just what has been admitted to by Moses and Trisha, let alone the other stuff they are trying to brush under the rug. Let's say Daphne's more serious accusations are false. For the record, I believe 100% of what she said. Moses still used his relationship with H3 to hook up with the H3 fans, and then Trisha mocked her on air. That episode is still up. Honestly, I don't think you should stay silent when you know a member of your family preyed on vulnerable young people in the community and then use your platform to make fun of her. It's so upsetting, and I think it needs to be addressed in a public statement condemning the behaviour rather than a series of Trisha's leaked tweets. A top commenter replied, he won't, but not because he doesn't want to, IMO, but because he respects Healer and Healer's mother, and someone has clearly drawn a boundary. In the text Trisha leaked, Healer said her mum was having a mental breakdown over all this, and it's obviously been difficult for Healer too, especially during a pregnancy. If other people he loved weren't involved, he probably would have said something by now. I do think there is a way he could say something. A quick 2-minute apology for not noticing how someone was using their proximity to H3 and their fan base to hook up with an allegedly woman, and how sorry he is for not putting a stop to it sooner and just left it at that. Not enough, but at least an acknowledgement. So what are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you believe Ethan should respond to the allegations against his brother-in-law? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, it's no surprise that Ethan's past is very problematic. Now that Trisha's past is resurfacing, so is Ethan's, but he's not getting anywhere near as much hate for it. People are saying that Ethan has apologised for his past a lot and is actively trying to be better. So yeah, there are a lot of people who are supportive of Ethan. Ethan. Ethan recently duetted some TikToks of Trisha mocking his Tourette's syndrome, but TikTok took down these videos because they were hate speech apparently. To himself? What?
That I made fun of him for saying his Tourette's when they were clearly jokes.
Why is that a problem?
I don't know. Everything was a problem once the show ended. He was like, oh, she's anti-Semitic and she made fun of my Tourette's. When
He had Tourette's?
Yeah, he has like Tourette's, but I didn't make fun of him. Like, it's the same way he called me
Does
fat.
he really have, or is he just saying that to just be cool?
No,
like he
I
thinks
think
it's
he
great
really-
to be like
to
woke
be cool.
or
I think he really has Tourette's.
Okay, well, then that's a real problem.
Yeah, of course. But once that show ended, it's like she's anti-Semitic. She made fun of my Tourette's. So now I'm like an ableist.
Yeah.
But it's not Tourette's. Tourette's is like when you.
I have Tourette's syndrome.
No, Tourette's is when you're like, fuck this shit. Isn't that Tourette's? I love having a friend with Tourette's because now I can like have a soapbox or something. Oh, your TikTok should be about having Tourette's and like, you know.
I don't want my whole existence to be defined by the guy with Tourette's.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta like go for a thing that people will feel sorry for you for. Why
this
are they
all
looking
together.
at you as like this god? Because you're just as messed up as me. I mean, you got Tourette's, so you got something
It's like
wrong with your
OCD.
brain
It's like
too.
OCD.
So your brain is not wired all the way, right?
What? Yeah.
Control it. You literally
God, how
can't
do you
control.
know? You don't know anything.
I know because you can't stop. I'm like, okay, stop worrying about advertising. Just keep going with that.
Because it's funny. Stop. You're out of line.
Smoke that weed, baby.
Yeah.
It's fucking 420.
He has Tourette's?
Yeah, smoke
I
that
don't know
weed,
what
I
motherfucker.
think he definitely has
Yeah,
Tourette's.
Trisha,
fucking
stop. You don't have to
420,
say
baby.
about
Are you
Tourette's.
kidding me?
Baby.
Yeah, it's fucking 4.
He doesn't have Tourette's.
Fuck. I'm ready to see those
There's
pussy
something
boys
wrong
on
with him.
Monday.
No one just-
Fuck, Monday.
Can you just enjoy the video? Why do you need to diagnose his mental illness?
No, low blow. That's like retardation, not to be mean.
Wait, you just called her retarded.
You called Dixie mental retardation, which is like, a lot of people think that's crossing the line.
I have, you know, mental illness. I have some form of retardation in me. I don't think to me, it's not an offensive word. I was just like, oh, there's something off. But I was like, oh, she danced to the N word in 2020 when it just felt like an off thing. After I got out of the ER, I didn't know what to do. I felt so crippled, but people love a crippled in bed, so it was fine. It's kind of like fucking a dead person. So now I'm like an ableist.
Yes.
It's like blind leading the blind. Like you're not, you
Yes,
see
it's
clear.
the blind leading the blind. Damn.
But why are you so much better than me? Your bride has Tourette's. That's like your physical, that's like the bread's version of your hand. Knowing that we're like cool and friends, like it's fun to have someone like Tourette's, just like Moses is like my Middle Eastern. I never had a problem with Tourette's though. So I do think it's kind of cool because it's like fun, we can make Tourette jokes about the bread and stuff.
I mean, you're making all the jokes.
Oh, our waiter told us Tourette's TikTok is a big thing right now. I forgot to tell you. You need to
I'm
get on it.
not participating in that.
It's people trying to finish a sentence and they can't do
But
it.
that's not, I don't have that issue.
But just maybe something with your hand, just put it on TikTok. Maybe write something and see if you can write a word down without doing that.
Come on, I'm not like a fucking like paraplegic.
You know, buddy, tweak my nipples.
Oh my god, it sounds like you have actual Tourette's. I know I always bring this up, but it does sound like you have Tourette's when you're screaming like that.
I mean, this is just some shitty-ass listicle website.
Crap.
Yeah.
So leading on from this, Trisha Paytas recently had a mental breakdown on her OF Members Only live stream. Well, it was more like a huge tantrum over food. But people are saying that the real reason she had a tantrum wasn't actually because she didn't get the food she wanted, but because she got cancelled, and that she was just using her tantrum over food as an excuse. Someone had commented on this live that got leaked on Reddit and had said, the incident was exactly what I suspected. The food she wanted wasn't available because the place was closed, so she threw a tantrum and wouldn't order anything at the next place they went to. How can she call that a food incident? I don't know. It's more of a baby tantrum incident for not getting what she wants. I can't believe she's so disconnected from reality that she can tell people that story with a straight face and expect sympathy. Most people are working every day with real problems and stresses, like not being able to pay their bills or dealing with sickness or real struggle. And Trisha spends all day buying stuff online in her mansion, then drives her $500,000 car to dinner after a day of lounging, then has a tantrum because she can only have her second choice of anything to eat. Someone also said that she should have manifested her favourite restaurant to be open. But then someone else claimed on Reddit that the main reason she lost it on her OF live was because earlier she saw Moses' ex-girlfriend's live stream exposing Moses for not doing his washing.
I guess. So he never used to do his laundry, ever. He never used to do his laundry. Like, himself. He would take it to, I guess, like a dry cleaner or just like I didn't know there was a service to like get your clothes washed for you, laundered for you. Money laundering? Anyway, he paid for these people to do his laundry, whatever. If he moved, unless they bought a washer, and dryer and he learned how to use it. Because now I'm remembering these age 3 vlogs. And his mom, I think they have their clothes hanging outside. So I think his mom was doing the laundry. So has he ever done laundry? I don't know. And now I'm saying...
So what are your thoughts on all this drama? Let me know in the comments.